Like many good ideas that go on to be great ideas, Tailwind Nutrition is born of one person's idea, a KitchenAid mixer, and a pitch to sell before a product design was conceived. The origins are a far cry from the new facility, enabling Tailwind Nutrition to continue to put locals first. You're watching the Local News Network, brought to you by the Payroll Department in Man Cave Barber. I'm Wendy Graham Settle.
So Tailwind got its start with my head in the trash can at the end of the finish line of the Leadville 100 mountain bike race. And I had trained really hard for that race. I was in good enough shape, but my stomach just killed me the entire day. And I found myself rushing to that trash can and throwing up breakfast from 13 hours earlier. And I just thought there's just got to be a better way. And so I started to dive into some of the medical literature about how our bodies fuel. And I realized that the products that I was using are actually really challenging on the digestive system at a time that you really just need your calories and need to be on your way. So I started to make my own, really just to solve my problem.
Some of the first batches of what would become Tailwind's first product were mixed up in his kitchen with fellow co-founder Jenny Vierling on her grandmother's KitchenAid mixer. Initially, Jeff wasn't thinking of commercializing the product, but after feedback from fellow athletes, Jeff and Jenny thought maybe there was something more to the mix.
I remember we met with Ed Zink and the team at Mountain Bike Specialists, and we didn't have any packaging, but we told them what we were up to, and at the end of that, Ed said, "Hey, we'll buy $400 worth," and so we kind of looked at each other and said, "Well, we better figure out some packaging," and then they invited us to sample it at the Iron Horse, which we did, and then that was really kind of our first weekend and the start to what became Tailwind Nutrition.
Tailwind Nutrition graduated from the Vierling's kitchen to a space in Bayfield as the company began to grow and progress. But as with all businesses, there were growing pains. And as the company grew, the space at the first location became untenable.
Anybody knows the old Steamworks building in Bayfield? That's where we did our production. We would have to move 3 pallets to get to 1 pallet. And then we'd have to load everything on a flatbed truck and take it next door to the shipping and warehouse building. And we would lose an immense amount of time just shuffling product around, moving things back and forth. There was no product flow whatsoever. We made the space available work for what we could do.
With the acquisition of its new facility right next door to the Durango La Plata Airport, the days of playing Tetris, shuffling pallets of product via truck bed are over. The facility allows for a circular pattern of production. The raw materials for the product are delivered on pallets, which are then shifted through the mixing process to bagging, then set out for distribution. The whole process stays local, employing locals and keeping the community that initially showed interest in Tailwind Nutrition first.
When we first started Tailwind, we wrote names on the bags to make that personal connection, which we continue to do today. We write personal notes to encourage them on whatever they have coming up. We have a specific product called the Tailwind Challenge that people can get, where they get 4 bags of our large endurance fuel and specify a particular event that they're going to be in. And we'll actually write notes of good luck to them for that particular event. So I think that personal connection with a customer, and as Jeff pointed to, because we're athletes ourselves, we really get what they're going through. That's something that's very unique about our company.
Tailwind Nutrition has remained dedicated to keeping the production of its product and employees local. The new facility enables the company to maintain its locals first mentality, as well as keep up with the increase in demand for its product. Learn more about the story behind Tailwind Nutrition and explore its products at tailwindnutrition.com. Thank you for watching this edition of the Local News Network. I'm Wendy Graham Settle.